Hey everyone, Amos Bilo here. I'm going to be going over the free training on how to lose weight without dieting, without changing your exercising or doing strict exercise. This is an awesome realization that I had when I saw this as a problem for people not being able to have the sustainability and it being enjoyable. So let's go through the training right now. You can start implementing this today. It's going to be super useful for you. Let's get into it. All right, welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about how to lose weight without dieting or exercising. Super cool training. These are things you're going to be able to implement immediately, right away. So I'm going to be getting right into it, and I guarantee you're going to find out some awesome information. So why is this important to be able to lose weight without dieting or exercising? It's because people struggle every single day to lose weight and keep it off. That's the thing, is it being sustainable? And it's costing tons of money for people going to gyms, trying these different diets and programs. A lot of time and a lot of joy is being sucked out of their life and out of wanting to be healthy. Okay, it's so important. I've seen it over and over again because I used to work at a fitness club and as a personal trainer and strength conditioning coach. And what I saw was that people would come for 3 months at a time and then they'd quit. And then they'd gain all the weight back, they'd lose all their progress, they just could not sustain a healthy lifestyle. So they'd work out for a little bit and then fall off, they'd do strict diets that work but then gain it all back. A lot of people do that. They don't enjoy being healthy because it isn't fun for them. They don't even enjoy being healthy, which is just backwards, and it makes sense that they wouldn't stay healthy then. They don't know how to make eating healthy simple. They think it has to be like counting calories, hitting a certain benchmark or being below a certain amount of calories, certain macro levels. It doesn't have to be that way. So who is this for? Who is this training for? It's for people who want to lose weight easily. I didn't say fast, but easily, where you don't have to think about it all day. People who want to keep the weight off. Don't want to have to worry about doing another program or another diet. It's for people who want to enjoy losing weight. So actually being healthy and losing weight and getting there be enjoyable instead of frustrating all the time. They want to still eat food that they like. Yes, eating healthy food can be enjoyable. And they want to not be strict with diet and exercise. I don't either. It's good to have consistency, but to be completely strict and say, no, I can't have that to your family when you go over for family dinner, that just sucks. Okay, so I do want you to take notes. Obviously, I can't make you, but you're going to get the most out of this if you write down this information. I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you because this is what I actually teach my clients. I'm going to be taking you through everything. So write down notes. It's going to be extremely effective. You can start using it immediately and applying it. Okay? You will start to have more energy, motivation, and control right away if you apply these methods I'll teach you. And I'm also going to be showing you at the end, if you want, how to create huge change in only 2 weeks. Okay, you could do this all in a slow process, or there's going to be a jump start into it in only 2 weeks that I'll show you at the end. So here's the old method. You see the diet plan there crinkled up. So changing what you eat only. When you're doing a diet, you're just changing what you eat, right? And it's not effective. It's not sustainable. What do you do after the diet? You got to know how to maintain it, or just doing a strict exercise program, or both of them combined. Now, I'm not saying that these aren't effective, because they are. They are very, very, very effective. That's why it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But is it really sustainable? The numbers are crazy. If you were to look up a statistic as to how many people gain the weight back after a diet, it's probably like 90%. It's a lot. So there's something missing, because it's not sustainable all the time. It's not enjoyable for a lot of people, and it isn't simple enough where you don't have to think about it anymore, okay? So I had to look into this. I knew that there was something missing with working at the gym, so the new method that I'm going to teach you about today and go into every single detail is looking at more than just what you're eating and the exercise you're doing, but looking at why you're eating, when you are eating, where you are eating, how you are eating, who you are being, and making sure that you're enjoying the process. These are the missing components that create sustainability. These are the missing components that most programs don't touch on. And if you don't have these things, you're never going to be able to sustain it or enjoy it. So that's what I need to teach you today, because this is what's going to make all the difference in following through. Okay? So I guarantee that if you work on all of these factors as I teach them to you, you'll be able to maintain your weight loss. And it will be enjoyable and not strict. You'll still get to enjoy the foods that you like and not do a crazy strict exercise program if you don't like those things. I guarantee it. Okay. So why do we eat food right now? A lot of the times it's for pleasure, relaxation, boredom, habit. Do those sound like the right reason? Comfort, adventure, we're surrounded by it. Those aren't the right reasons. They're good things to fulfill. These are things that we crave on a daily basis. So yes, you have to fulfill those cravings, but is this why we eat our food? Is food the only reason we eat food is to get these things from it? It's not. The real reason why is for fuel. It's for energy. We eat food because we need energy to keep going. That is the single reason why we need and eat food. Okay, but that's kind of gotten skewed. Now, it's gotten skewed because in our society, we kind of idolize food, right? We go to food for parties. We surround ourselves with, addictive foods that make us feel good, and it makes sense because you need to fulfill those cravings, like I said, for pleasure, excitement, adventure, and just the problem is we've changed the meaning of food. The reason we eat it is for only those things, and we forget that it's just for food. It's just for fuel. It's just for energy. Okay, that's the real reason why we need to eat food. Okay. So those other cravings are still there, and it's never about deprivation. So you still have to fulfill those other cravings for pleasure, comfort, relaxation, but it can't be the main reason why you're eating food. But there's better ways to fulfill those things without feeling deprived, without feeling guilty and shameful after eating it. And I know a lot of people will, you break up. Let's say you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. You go get ice cream right away. You eat a whole carton of ice cream. It makes you feel better in the moment, sure, but after you feel like crap. You feel guilty, you feel shameful, and you don't know why you just did that. So we have to find better ways to fulfill these cravings without going to food for it. Okay? What else? So these are ways that I fulfill my food cravings. Things like going in the sauna, a massage, exercise, walks, shower, deep conversation, playing board games, doing a project at home, doing the chores, having a clean house, meal prepping food, having intimacy with my spouse, Kelsey, planning a date or a trip or a vacation. These are all things that fulfill the same cravings for pleasure, comfort, excitement, adventure, having something to do when I'm bored, and I don't feel deprived, and I don't feel shamed or guilty when I fulfill the cravings this way. So this is very effective. I want you to take a moment right now, if you can, and write down 10 things that would fulfill those cravings for you. Non-edible things that would give you pleasure, comfort, excitement. Small things, big things. It's good to have both of them for different reasons. Because if you don't have a good outlet to fulfill that craving after a long day of work, you're naturally going to turn to food because that's what we've done for so long, and because it does sort of work. But it's not beneficial to losing weight, feeling healthy, feeling great about our bodies. Okay, so don't deprive yourself from that. Okay, so we talked about why we're eating food. Again, it's for fuel, it's for energy. Simple. That's what it's for. Now, how do we eat food? This is a long one because this is very important. How are we eating our food? Is it an afterthought? Like, oh crap, I haven't eaten for 8 hours. I should go grab a burger real quick. Eat until I'm stuffed. So think of Thanksgiving when you eat until your stomach is bulging, you have heartburn, you want to go lay down, you're groaning, Do you eat in 5 minutes? Like, oh yeah, I do need to eat lunch, but I need to keep working because that's way more important. So you're gonna fork down that food in 5 minutes without even thinking about it. Going along the same lines, do you chew only 3 times a bite or 3 to 5 times a bite? You're swallowing big pieces of food. Are you stressed? Are you stressed when you're eating your food? That one is so huge, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And are you multitasking? Are you eating while you're working? Are you eating while you're doing a different project or chore or cleaning? These are good things to ask yourself, okay? Now, I want to get into all of those things. First, I want to start with our hunger. So, are you actually prepared? So, we're talking about afterthought here. Do you actually prepare for your meal and know when you're going to eat, where that food's going to come from, and what you're going to eat? These are all very important things to plan ahead of time, because as you see on the right here, I have a scale. And that's your hunger scale. It goes from 1 to 10. 1, you're not hungry. 10, you're starving. Now, what you want to do is start planning for food at a level 2. So think of it as like you're running low on gas. So that level 2 is like, okay, I got 30 miles left in the tank. I should plan for where I'm going to get gas, what gas station, or maybe that's more like 50 miles to empty. You're figuring out where that food's going to come from. You're planning for it before you need it. Okay, so you can make a very clear and focused decision on it. Plan when you have hunger cues. So when that 50 mile per hour to empty, it associates with hunger cues. So hunger cues for me are usually going to be at that level 2, losing focus and thinking about snacks even though I'm not hungry. I just feel restless, maybe a little sluggish. These are things, and light in my body. These are all cues to me that I need to start planning for food. I need to know where it's going to come from when my stomach actually starts grumbling. So most people instead wait till they run out of gas. And so that's when you're running out of gas at around 7 to 10. 5, 6, your stomach is grumbling. 7, you need food. 8, 9, 10, you're like, oh my goodness, get me something. And that's dangerous. This is so dangerous because if we're waiting, if food is an afterthought and we're waiting until we get to a level 9 or a 10, then we're going to eat anything in sight, no matter what it is, right? It's a lot harder to make clear decisions that are going to be beneficial to you losing weight and feeling good if you are starving, because then a bag of potato chips is nothing. You're going to crank through that whole thing, and you're not going to stop until you feel like you've gotten a full meal and you've balanced out from being starving. So you got to plan around 2 out of 10. Look for those hunger cues. Really tune into that. Okay. On the other side, we want to eat until we have energy. Again, why are we eating food? It's for fuel. It's for energy. So here on the right, you have your fullness scale. So 1 being starving, 7 is where you're eating for optimal energy. So once you get to a level 7 or 8 on your fullness scale, it's like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready to keep going. I'm ready to play a sport. I'm ready to work 5 more hours. That's where you want to eat until, because that's what food is for. Now, have you ever felt like you needed to take a nap after eating? This is a perfect indicator that you've eaten past the level for energy. Sometimes it has to do with what food you're eating, but mostly you've eaten past capacity, like past what you needed, and now your stomach is being stretched out. This always, again, makes me think of Thanksgiving, where we eat so much that we want to just curl up on the couch. We want to take a nap after eating. That's the exact opposite. If food is for fuel and energy, we should feel energetic after eating. So, perfect indicator, once you get to 8, 9, and 10, you're going to start losing energy and feeling tired. Okay, so really aim for that 7 out of 10 to keep optimal energy. And going back to the first one, if you let yourself get starving, your body is always trying to balance itself out. We're creatures of balance. The homeostasis is what it's called in the body. So if you let yourself get to a 10 starving, then you're naturally going to want to stuff yourself to a 10, because that's what you feel you deserve at that point. Your body's like, oh, I got to balance this out. Okay, so that's where it's so important to have both aspects working together on this. So figuring out your hunger and fullness, the best way to figure out your hunger and your fullness scales is by slowing down. Because if you don't take time to listen to your body, food is an afterthought. How are you going to figure out if you're full if it only takes you 3 to 5 minutes to eat your meal? We got to slow down. And how are you going to plan for food if you don't ever give yourself time to plan for food or even realize that you're hungry? Okay. Yeah, your bodies just can't say how much food you need if you're eating too fast. Okay, so a couple different ways how to eat, a couple different ways to slow down and to really let your body tell you what your hunger and your fullness levels are at, and listen to your body again. One way is chewing. Got a handsome gentleman here. Chewing is huge, and you might not think it is, because how many times do you think the regular person chews their food? It's about 3 times, which is crazy. And how many times do you think we're supposed to chew our food? 30. 30 times we're supposed to chew our food. So 3 to 30, 10 times more. What that's going to do is it's going to slow down your entire meal. Imagine your meal taking 10 times as long if you're chewing every bite 10 times more. So chewing is huge. For that reason, it slows you down. It lets you actually taste the food and enjoy it, which is what we want anyways. We want to enjoy our food. But what it also does is it's the first step in the digestion process. So first, you're chewing your food to break it down. You're breaking it down into smaller pieces so that once it goes through your esophagus into your stomach acid can break it down even further and faster and more efficiently, so you can pull out the energy, minerals, nutrients that you need from it. And then going down into the intestines, it breaks it down even more. So chewing, very, very, very important. Just slow it down. Try to hit that 30 times mark. Take a breath. Don't multitask. These are all ways to tune back into eating. Okay? Other thing is, the chewing will help you get here, but it's taking a 20-minute meal. A 20-minute meal is so important. That number is because, or the number 20 is there because that's usually how long it takes for your body to send out the correct hormones, the correct signals that you are getting full. And without that signal, you're never going to know whether you've eaten to a 7 out of a 10. You'll start to get the hang of it, knowing your proportions and whatnot. But we got to slow down that meal because it's going to let you actually digest it, metabolize it, break it down, and your body's going to tell you to stop eating because you have energy, okay? And then you're going to have time to tune into that food. Don't multitask. Put the phone away. Focus on that food. What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What's the texture? What does it look like? How does it feel going down into your stomach? All these things are cues to your body to turn on your metabolism. So really important exercise. You want to try to slow down your meals to 20 minutes. Don't start by just going to 20. You don't have to do that. You can make it easy by timing your meal, realizing how fast it's taking. Okay, I eat 10 minutes. Next time, 15 minutes. Next time, try to hit that 20-minute mark, and then keeping aware of how that's making you feel different. Okay? Oh, the biggest one is stress. Stress in our society is at an all-time high. We all, not all of us, but most of us have a chronic level of stress in our bodies, which not only kills our cells, it stops us from fighting disease. In a way, it's the cause of most diseases because we can't heal, but it also kills our metabolism. And so people are so focused on metabolism being like when you eat. And we'll get to when you're eating on here. But stress is what's killing your metabolism. It's not the food you're eating. It's not when you're eating. I'm going to explain that. But there's 2 systems in the body, and I'm just going to explain this scientifically just a little bit. So stress comes from the sympathetic side. And when you're sympathetic, so there's 2 systems in your body. One is the sympathetic, which is your stress response. What happens is your digestion is shutting down. So your metabolism slows down dramatically, more like 90%. And then what happens when you eat the food, since your digestion system isn't on, the blood's actually flowing to your muscles in the sympathetic response, the stress response, as in, if something goes wrong, it's a fight or flight mentality. You're ready to fight someone, or you're ready to run away from a bear. But the same system. That system turns on the instant you get stressed, okay? And then cortisol is sent out. It's a hormone that's sent out that tells your body to store what you eat as fat because you're not digesting it anyway. You need to store that for later as a protection mechanism. And because, again, your metabolism isn't turned on all the way, okay? So if we have a chronic level of stress every single day, which is usually categorized by just going too fast and not giving yourself enough time for things, your sympathetic system is turned on, you're not digesting any of the food you're eating very well, and you're storing it as fat, okay? Kills it. Parasympathetic, on the other hand, is your rest and digest. It's your healing phase. This is when the blood is being pumped into the organs. It's being pumped into your digestion system to burn. It's to burn that fat. It's to burn your food. It's to metabolize all the energy, vitamins, nutrients. So even if you're eating a really healthy meal and you're stressed out, you're not going to really feel energetic or good from that. Parasympathetic is turned on, you're resting, you're digesting, you're healing, your body is healing itself, you're getting some good energy, and you're burning away that fat to help you lose weight. Okay, so we have to be aware of where our stress is coming from, what our stress level is, because this is the number one killer of losing weight. Okay, so how do we boost metabolism? Slow down. How do we turn that parasympathetic system on? We slow down. Look at your schedule and just add 5, 10, 15 minutes to everything on your schedule. I know that's difficult. I know we don't have a lot of time. We don't give ourselves a lot of time to do things. And so you're going to have to ask yourself, what are some things that I can clear out of my schedule? What's some clutter I can clear? Who can I ask for support on what I'm working on or what's going on so that I don't have to go one thing to the next and feel stressed all day? Because you're not going to lose weight. Okay, so you got to slow down. Slow down your eating first and then work it into your day. Like I said, it's not about timing your meals. People will tell you, oh, you got to eat every 2 hours. You got to have a snack every 2 hours to keep the metabolism going. There's small things like that work a little bit, but it doesn't matter if your sympathetic system is turned on. If you're stressed about timing your meals, that's so counterproductive that it's not doing anything. Because if you're stressed, you're not going to metabolize anyway. You're losing 90% of your power. The way to lose weight and heal the body is to be relaxed. It's to have your parasympathetic system turned on, okay? So if you need help, seriously, if you need help figuring out where the stress is coming from and how to deal with it, that's where someone like me comes in and we can talk through it. So if you're interested in that, send me a message. But give yourself more time for every activity, like I said, and at least 15 to 20 minutes for meals where you're not multitasking, because multitasking is stressful. Just focus on the meal. Take a breath. Go for a walk. Add these things into your day. So one really good way to relax in only 2 minutes and to turn that parasympathetic system on is through breathing. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's called the 5-5-7 breath. Because it has to be a fair fight here. We can get stressed instantly if something goes wrong and we don't react well to it, and if we're not used to being relaxed. But you can also relax in 2 minutes anywhere at any time using the 5-5-7 breath. We use our breath. And so the whole concept is you're going to breathe like a relaxed person, which is a cue, it's a trigger to your body that you're relaxed, that the parasympathetic system should be turned on. Okay, so 5-5-7 are 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds. You're going to breathe in through the nose for 5 seconds. Now, don't try it yet, but before you start doing this, always relax your body. Relax your posture. You want to sit with a tall spine, with your feet flat on the floor. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Just take a moment to be present with yourself and not going all the time. Relax your body. Sink down, but don't drop your shoulders. Your eyes can be opened or closed for this, so you can do it anywhere at any time. And then through your nose only, and using the diaphragm, where your stomach expands when you breathe. You breathe in through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's how the 5-5-7 breath works. And what you want to do is do it a few times until you can really slow down the breath to an actual 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds. So yeah, I counted it a little bit faster because our heart rate is going faster. Our breathing is going faster when we're stressed out. So it takes a little bit of time to bring it down slow enough to the relaxed state. And then you want to do it 10 times, nice and slow. And while you're breathing, start tuning into all of your senses. So don't be thinking about other things. Don't be thinking about what's next on the agenda. Be consciously thinking about what you're smelling, what you're hearing, what you're seeing if your eyes are open, what you're touching, what you're tasting. Start working through those senses, and it'll help you focus your mind on small things and break away from the stress of the day. So I do have a recording of me talking someone through that. If you want that, again, message me and I'll get that to you. Really effective, really nice. And relaxation, you have to know, relaxation doesn't mean scheduling it into your schedule. It doesn't mean, okay, from 8:30 to 9, I'm watching Netflix and that's my relaxation. That's stressful. It's stressful to schedule your relaxation, especially if you miss it. That's just even more frustrating. And so the idea here is to be in a relaxed state throughout the day, throughout the chaos of the day. Because if you can do that, your metabolism is going to be fired up, you're going to be losing weight, you're going to be feeling great, you're going to have great reactions, great control on your emotions, you'll be more patient and kind, you'll be more efficient at work, you'll be more focused at work. So some people think if you're relaxed, you're not getting as much done. It's not true. Okay, so that's so huge. Really work on that. Okay, so what to eat. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but just one point on what to eat. I want to make this as simple as possible for you and not like a diet where you have a whole strict thing. So would you rather eat foods that give you lots of long-lasting energy, or would you eat foods that make you feel sluggish and unfocused? Okay, typically, and this is what I choose, is option 1. Obviously, I want to eat foods that give me a lot of energy. Okay, so that's all I want you to focus on. I want you to write down all of the foods that give you a lot of great long-lasting energy. So 3 to 5 to 6 hours of energy, and surround yourself with them. And healthy food does taste good too, so don't worry about that. But write down all the foods that give you energy, and then write down all the foods that take away your energy. You're going to realize that all the foods that give you energy, there's way longer list. Okay, so you don't have to feel deprived about missing out on the fried foods or the sugars that start to drain you and make you feel unfocused and sluggish. And you're going to naturally start to crave healthy foods because you know that, oh, I have this awesome list of foods that make me feel energetic, focused, healthy. That's what you want, right? That you wanted option 1. So that's as simple as it has to be with eating food. Eat it for energy. It'll change everything. Okay? That's all. That's the only point. That's it. So a quick tip with cravings and food I just wanted to throw in here was hydration. Having enough water. It'll get rid of tons of cravings that you have throughout the day because staying hydrated is a great way to kick sugar cravings especially, but cravings in general, because our body might be asking for water, and we've decided to often fulfill that craving by eating food, because there is some water in food, but it's not what our body's asking for. So what you want to do is drink lots of water during the day. If you feel hungry and you don't know why, or you just had food, drink a huge glass of water, 16-ounce glass of water, and then wait 20 minutes and see if you're still hungry. That's what you should do when you're not sure if you're actually hungry. Drink lots of water. What I mean by that is 0.5 to 0.75 ounces per pound of body weight. That's just a general rule of thumb. So I'm 163 pounds. That would be 81 to 120 ounces of water per day for me. So get used to that. Get used to carrying around a bottle. I'm not going to tell you how to do all that stuff, but this is a very important tip. So getting into when and again how much you are eating. So make this very simple. It doesn't have to be scheduled out to a T. It doesn't have to be every 2 hours I have a snack and then I have a meal, and then I have a snack and then I have a meal. That's so stressful. Make it if you why do we eat food again? We eat food for energy. So when do you need energy during the day? That's when you're going to need food. When do you feel low on energy? That's when you're going to need some food if you're hungry. If you realize that you're hungry. There's other things that can give you energy, but make it simple. You know when you need food. The example I have here with the crowns and the hat is for a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this is how I do it. This works just perfectly fine for me. If you have a regular work day, you're going to be sleeping at night, and then you're going to be waking up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever it is for you. Now, you had sleep, so sleep gives you energy. But you're also going to work, typically, you're going to work for 5-6 hours before lunch. And so you're going to need a good amount of energy for that. Since you had the sleep, you're going to eat some food still. Breakfast is huge. It's a lot of time, 6 hours. So you're going to want to eat like a queen. Eat breakfast like a queen. You're having a full breakfast, well-rounded plate. You're having vegetables, you're having fats, you're having proteins, you're having grains if you want. A full breakfast, and then eat like a queen, so it's a medium portion. Okay, lunchtime. Let's logically think through it. You've already worked a lot. You've lost your energy from sleep. You're losing your energy from the breakfast. You still have to work another 4 or 5 hours. Okay? Now, that's why I have a king's crown there. You're going to want to eat like a king for lunch because you don't have the sleep as backup for energy. Now you're just focusing on that food, having high energy foods to give you energy through the big slump of the day. And if you have donuts or bagels, it's going to be way harder because those make you tired, typically. Okay. And then dinner, what's going to happen after dinner? You come home from work, you're getting the kids ready, or letting the kids eat, you're getting them ready for bed, you're watching a movie with your wife, something like that. Where do you need the energy? You need it in the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, at nighttime. You're just winding down. You don't really need fuel to wind down and sit on a couch. So for dinner, you want to eat like a pauper. Okay, this is just a general rule of thumb. It works wonderfully because you don't want to be digesting a ton of food when you're sleeping anyways. That's how you get acid reflux, and your body doesn't have time to heal itself because it's too busy digesting. So really simple. Make it that way. It's way easier, way more enjoyable. You don't have to think about it. That's what this is all about. Okay, let's touch on where you're eating a little bit. So are you eating in the car, on the go? Are you standing up? Are you at an office desk when you're eating, multitasking? Now, wherever you find yourself is where you're eating, so you don't really plan for it, or you're just always at restaurants. These are all things that fuel the stress response because you're not giving any attention to the food, so your body's like, well, I don't need to worry about digesting because we're not even worried about eating. We're not even worried about, honoring our body in this way. So just be aware of it. Ask yourself, where am I eating? Write it down. This will change a ton as well. All these things are so important and they're so simple to change. They really are, but it takes being aware of it, being curious, and actually focusing on these pieces instead of just what to eat. Okay. The last one is, so who are you being? What do I mean by this? I'm talking about beliefs, talking about negative self-talk. So if you have a belief that you're never going to change, that you're never going to lose weight, then it doesn't matter to you. In your head, logically, it's like, well, I can eat whatever the heck I want because it's not going to make a difference. I'm never going to lose weight. So why wouldn't you eat 8 donuts a day? So you have to be aware of what those beliefs are. The negative self-talk, things like, I deserve this. I've been working so hard, I deserve to take away my energy by eating 2 donuts, right? Or this is the best way to get comfort. It's not true. Before, we wrote down a list of all these different ways to give yourself pleasure, comfort, relaxation in a way that wasn't going to make you feel guilty or shamed, and also boost relationships with other people. I'll never be able to lose weight, so it doesn't matter. We talked about that one. Nothing works anyways. Sorry about the quotations. Nothing works anyways. If you tell yourself that, that's a belief that shapes your behaviors and your actions. If you believe that nothing will work, then you're never going to try because nothing works. That's what you've told yourself. Or it's just one. It's just one. Not a big deal, but 1 over 300 days, that's going to keep you from losing any weight or feeling good. I look terrible anyways. Again, defeat mentality, fear of failure, Once you tell yourself that consistently, that's a belief that you're solidifying in your head. And when we have beliefs, we do whatever we can to make our beliefs true. So your actions and your behaviors are going to line up with what you believe. So if you believe you can't change, you're not going to. Everything you do will be to prove your belief to yourself, etc. So there's more than that, but these can be difficult to change without knowing how to do it. So if you want help with it, please reach out. This is what I specialize in. You can make a lot of progress on your body and losing weight and whatnot, but if you're not changing the beliefs and the programming of what you were told and what you've been telling yourself your whole life, that's a brick wall that you can't get around. You can only get so far losing weight, and then you hit a brick wall. That's the people who do diets and exercise programs where they're like, well, I don't know what to do after I'm done with the diet. So then they just gain all the weight back. That's a brick wall because they're holding themselves back from figuring it out or figuring out what they're telling themselves that holds them back. So again, if you need help changing this, if you feel like you've been stuck and you haven't been able to change and you don't know why, this might be the reason. So let's talk through it. Okay, just a quick point on exercise. So what I said before was, I wrote yoga twice, but exercise does not have to be strict. It doesn't have to be some extreme program to lose weight and feel good. I want you to do what you enjoy. In the same way with food, I want you to eat foods that you enjoy and give you energy as well, not just pleasure. But exercise too. Do things that you enjoy, because is it easier to do things that you don't enjoy or things that you do enjoy? Obviously things that you enjoy. It's so much easier. So you apply that to everything that you do. It's motivation. It's good motivation. So it can be any type of movements as well. So it doesn't have to be strict. Some examples, and there's hundreds: biking, rollerblading, jumping on the trampoline, jump rope, hula hoop, yoga again, or hot yoga, dancing, chopping wood, cartwheels, Zumba, walking, sports, jogging, hiking, swimming, sex, and gardening, landscaping. All these things are good exercise. They're good activity. Play on the playground with your kids. Walk the dog or run around with the dog. It's great stuff. It's fun. It's enjoyable. And it's not stressful. Okay, just a quick point there. What's next? Now, like I said, there's a lot of information. And there's so much more to losing weight and feeling healthy and energetic than just dieting and just what exercise program you are doing. It really is. Even more so, and I didn't touch on this too much, but if you are stressed with one area of your life, if you're realizing that the stress then is coming from your relationship falling apart, or your family life not being good, or you working overtime all the time, or people talking down to you, or negative self-talk, or your finances aren't good, or you hate your job, like all these things are going to be giving you stress throughout the day, which stops you from losing weight. And so that's what needs to be focused on sometimes to actually lose weight and to actually feel great and energetic. You have to focus on your career. And that might not make sense, but when I explain it this way, it really does. Because everything is interconnected. If I'm going through a terrible divorce, then a lot of times people go to food as an outlet, right? That's for comfort, that's for pleasure. And we got to find better ways to fulfill those cravings and to deal with it. That's not going to make your body go down the drain. Okay, so there's so much more to losing weight and feeling healthy and energetic than just dieting and exercise. It's your entire life. And it's how you're eating, why you're eating, when, where, all these things. So what I do as a health coach is I help people apply these methods and, one, tune back into their body. What is your body telling you? What is your body actually craving? When are you hungry? When are you not? What foods give you energy? Which foods don't? You have all the answers. You are the experiment. You don't need to do a diet that works for someone else. We need to figure out what works well for you and then apply it. And then also look into every area of your life. So as a health coach, that's what I do. As a life coach, you can't separate the two. Because if you're not healthy in other areas of your life, your body's going to degrade anyways. And you won't be able to lose weight, or maybe you'll gain weight. So I want to help people create new behaviors of craving healthy food, honoring their body and listening to it, being healthy in every area of their life, not just food and exercise, because it influences that. And it becomes easy to lose weight. It becomes easy to maintain being healthy and be energetic and motivated. That's what happens when you do this new method. And you have to look at all these things. Okay? So I did want to let you know I'm doing a 16-day food and body reset that starts June 13th. And I would love for people to join me doing this. I've done it before. Well, I like doing it in a group format, so everyone starts at the same time, and then we go through the phases together. So there's a 28-page manual that has everything. It has the recipes, it has the day-to-day, it has the things you're going to need, the grocery list, how to enhance the reset. So when I say reset, we are cleansing out the body of toxins, but it's not strict. I want people to feel comfortable with this. I want them to enjoy it. Some people go all or none, but it's not a sustainable mentality. And so I'm going to be teaching you how to approach it in a way that is going to have a lot of good results without you feeling like you're stressed out about it. Okay? So there's a program manual, there's coaching calls included, there's a bonus one-on-one 60-minute call with me at the end so we can talk about how to sustain this healthy lifestyle more than just a little over 2 weeks. There's live Q&As in the Facebook group you're going to be part of. There's going to be other bonuses. There's going to be an app where we can message each other day to day, and you can ask any questions you want and get immediate response. And we've had great reviews with this. I do it myself. I participate with you because I love it and I feel great after doing it. I have rosacea on my face, and when I do this type of reset with exercise, with my mind, with my emotions, with the food. So it's not just food, but it's emotions, mindset, beliefs. We'll go into the things that are difficult to change and people don't think about. But my rosacea starts going away because of the foods that I'm eating, and it's awesome. So some of the results you get are just shed excess weight, definitely. A couple of people lost over 10 pounds in 14 days, which is just amazing. You just really shed it off. You boost your energy. Honestly, you double your energy. You feel lighter, you feel clean, your skin clears up, you decrease your cravings for unhealthy foods, deep sleep, your digestion, less gas and bloating. You enhance your body's ability to mobilize and excrete, clearing out the digestion system. You decrease congestion and allergy symptoms. And then the third phase of this is you're discovering your food sensitivities. So you're figuring out which foods specifically are actually taking away your energy, are giving you gas and bloating, is making your arthritis really bad, is giving you headaches. All these things, you're going to figure out which foods do that. And we'll be able to start creating healthy habits that enliven you, make you feel awesome. And we'll do it in an easy way. So here are some people that did it. Tim, 21-day reset. He says that it was nice to discover life without stomach difficulties. And the reset was for the mind, the body, and habits all wrapped together in one because everything affects each other and it affects his choices every day. I love that review. That's awesome. Oop, here we go. So just another good review. I really do want to help you in a holistic way across all these areas, and we're going to do that throughout this process. I know it's just a short amount of time, but it's amazing what you can get done in a short amount of time. Jess did the 21-day reset. She said she's tried so many different diets that restricted herself, and she restricted herself. They worked temporarily, but this is the first time she hasn't felt deprived. She's been able to stick to it because it's about a lifestyle change. It's about self-care during the day, not just with food, but with taking care of your body in different ways. Turning any negative and self-doubt into positivity, and using your mess-ups as benefits. Be thankful for when you mess up because then you can figure out some really valuable information for next time. So awesome review. Sarah actually did my longer program when I was doing a 12-week one-on-one coaching program, and that really builds confidence in every area of life. So wanted to throw that in there, but we worked on all the same things with her. Danielle did the 21-day reset. She says it's like nothing she's ever been part of before because this is a new mentality when it comes to food, because she's been through a lot of them. It's about mindset, perspective, which is key to successful lifestyle change. We did some coaching calls, and it's set a lasting life change. So David, just a recommendation for coaching, which is nice. And then Annette also did it. She had less bloating, figured out what was happening when she ate gluten. She said the best part was being able to do it with other people there in the group. That's why I like doing that. She said, I even stopped taking one of my medications. So really, really, really cool. This is a really cool program. This is a really cool method that I want to teach you. and it's going to be so beneficial. I promise you that. So if you have any interest in doing the 16-day reset, I would love to work with you personally to teach you through these methods and how to make it simple, easy, enjoyable, sustainable. We can do it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to talk to you soon.